Hey there, happy Saturday there. It's me, Victor, here, doing a weekly recap for the YouTube channel. Hopefully, I had a great trading week. Overall, this past week has been great. Just to go over some trades which I took and the overall game plan moving forward. Some mistakes I made this week, of course. That's why I'm doing this for myself, and most importantly, is to help y'all learn something from this down the road whenever y'all watch this, and go over some stocks, okay? But again, all this is not advice; it's all for educational. So yeah, let's go over the trades which I took this past week. Just 4 trades overall, and again, I'm green on the week, so that's good, I suppose, but I could have done so much better. Overall, I'm trying to focus on a specific pattern, which I'm trying to emphasize on myself, a system. And again, in the markets, a lot of things are moving. You see a lot of things, and in the beginning, it's hard. I got to the point to where I don't really care about the money. If that makes any sense. I do. I don't trade the money. I trade the chart. I trade the pattern. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know. I don't hesitate anymore to put on any trade. I just do it. But I'm still struggling right now on just focusing on that one pattern, because as I mentioned earlier, CONL, right, in my last video I dropped, I said if it broke out of this range, it would be a great buy, and it did break out of the range. You know how I was saying this sideways chop here, and I didn't execute it because I don't know why. It's something I'm working on. Same with Jumia, for instance. You know, this is still, and this is setting up again here. You know how again, the basic premise. I did get long here. Of course, I got shaken out. Okay, and I could have rebought, but I didn't. I don't know why. And I'm learning, and it's all about learning and testing as you grow as a trader. Okay, and that's why I do these. I know that down the road, it's gonna all make sense, and you get to sometimes lose in the beginning, and you're trying to develop a system. But of course, you want to minimize those losses. Just say. But this is setting up really nice, okay? But we'll talk about some stocks later. But that's really the main focus of this past week, is just not focusing on my setup. Out of the 4 trades, I would say only these 2 were within the setup ranges. The other ones were not. ISP, I traded pre-market. This one was open range highs. Okay, let's go over one by one. So, of course, AI themes have been trending lately. Yeah, so this was on March the 5th. And again, I trade. That's another thing I want to talk about here in a minute. Trading from your phone, you know, it's not really ideal, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So, ISP, I saw it, of course, pre-market scans, gapping, and I decided that I was going to get long over the opening range high break. Of course, it did what it did here, but I saw pre-market here, and my goal was to get long this level, which I did get long, and the risk was low of day, okay, and it shook me out, and that's fine, okay, because in hindsight, if I would have held, yeah, it would have been great. It would have been a great trade overall, but you don't know. See, as a trader, you want to minimize your losses. You want to protect your capital, to say, and this could have easily tanked lower, perhaps, you know. And that's really one of the things that I'm working on with these small caps. Is I don't really. I want to let them play form, because I noticed that. Again, I'm not upset with this trade because number one, I had a game plan. You know, I got long. Well, I was somewhat chasing this 330. What is that? That's. Well, not really. Opening range highs, 330. You know, if we had a back in COVID times, perhaps this probably would have ran, but instead it trapped shorts and it went on a massive run. But the first trade, I'm not upset with. It is what it is. You know, I had a game plan. It didn't work out. No big deal. But I guess the key takeaway from this, I would say, that, as I was saying earlier, I trade better these small caps in the afternoons. I want the play to form, and it's really hard whenever I'm not in front of the screens and I'm just doing this via phone. I mean, I have access to charting on my phone. It's not ideal, as I mentioned. But yeah, I didn't like. Who knows? Because let's say if I would have waited, I would have for sure got long over this. This is a beautiful, beautiful setup here. You have a pullback, a reclaim, and again, it's like an ABCD pattern here, and that that is. If not, look it up. But yeah, beautiful in that one. That one was really the only loss outside my risk threshold. I'm only trying to risk really $80 per trade, and this was about 12% of my 12%, and that's not really acceptable. So that's really the only downside of this. I was outside my risk threshold. Okay. But the second one was a net winner of 15%. This was again pre-market. I never really trade pre-market. But let me see if I can show my trades here. I don't think I can. But anyways, I got long. I knew this was likely going to gap up considering how it closed. Therefore, I woke up kind of early and I got long over this pre-market. Ranges were performing really nicely. I got long at 690 to say. So right as it broke here, I got long 690, and the goal was really to let it ride and let it form. And again, most stocks that ramp into the market open tend to somewhat fade, and that's really what happened here. I sold some beautifully right before open just to protect my downside risk. I sold like most of my shares. Then I sold the rest, as you can see. Not great. As you can see here, I'm trying to work on not selling on the strength. I should, in hindsight, I should have sold at 9 when the market opened, but I didn't. I'm working on that. Got too a little bit greedy, I would say. But that one was a good one overall. But again, that's not what I'm going for here, and that's the main theme I'm trying to get to you. Yeah, I made money, big deal. But that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not the setup I'm trying to master right now. That's really what my goal is of doing this video lesson is a week from now when I make a new one. I don't care if I lose all trades next week as long as I'm doing that one setup. Okay, I don't care. Because I'm tired of doing. I know you want to get the randomness out of this. That's the goal. You want to get the randomness. I know it's hard for anyone out there, to make money in this game in the long run, because most of us, we want the money now, and we always do random things, chase random stocks. And yeah, I get it. We all want the money now, but we're looking for longevity. We're looking for consistency. We're looking for an edge. Okay, and those two on this one really. I mean, I'm good. It's a great thing I made money. Whoopie-doo. But it's not great in the sense that it's not who I am. That's not who I'm trying to become. Okay? Because the patterns I'll show you here in a minute, those are the ones I'm trying to quote-unquote master. Okay? But yeah. BBIA, another IA stock. AI theme. This one overall was... where would I get long this at? See, I mean, this one overall has been setting up nicely. BBAI, I got long. Right, I believe. Where was this at? Here. My alarm. It was an overnight swing. 1420. I don't know. I don't even. Yeah, number one, I'm buying the channel. Still is this day here. Now again, I don't know why. Well, let me see here. Give me 1 second. Where does this go? It's not gonna go. I'm trying to show my trades here for y'all, but I don't think it's gonna go. Wait, maybe. Let's see. No, it's not gonna go. Anyways, I got long. I believe it was in this range here. I believe that's what it was, 420. Yeah, I remember that day. It was ready. Opening range highs. Now this is really what I'm looking for here. This is a good setup, and I saw it, and I saw the pattern forming, and oh, here we go. Look at that, beautiful. Yeah. So opening range highs. This is a setup I'm fine with. Okay, you have a nice stock here, you know, a hot theme AI, and I saw it break this range. I saw it break the range, and let's just go back to this chart here. Anyways, open range highs, you know, 415, risking $4, risking 15 cents to potentially make, you know, and in hindsight, yeah, I should have sold as it went to 480. But again, I'm proud in the sense that I held this the entire day, and again, that's the main theme I'm getting here, is buying these range breaks, letting the stock move, letting the stock work, and if it's in a range, it's in a range. It's fine, it's working. And we didn't have a gap up as I thought, so I just sold, and it was a great sell overall, as you can see, because it did have a nice. Of course, they reported earnings, and you know how that goes. Expectations never meet their core values. But yeah, on that one, good sell. On that one's very small gain overall. Now the one that I want to talk about real quick is RVSN. Now, yes, $70. Who cares, right? This would have been by far. This is a 5-star setup. This would have been by far my largest trade if I did execute flawlessly. And you can see here, I sold right there, and I got long opening range highs, as I mentioned, AI stock, AI theme, and this one was from phone because I have price alerts set on my phone, and I saw this price alerts on Wednesday, of course, and let's go this one. This is better here. I got long 269, somewhat chasing, but again, I noticed that it wasn't chasing because the news just broke, and the average true range, it was not higher than the average true range, so therefore I got long, and beautifully we had a nice run, and I didn't sell because number one, I was looking to hold this overnight for a swing, but again, I can't have that mentality, you know. The setup's there, open range highs, but sometimes you just have to lock in your gains, and I should have done that. It's no big deal. I'm learning. I'll learn for the next one. You know, take your gains and grow your account organically, to say. But this would have been a monster win. This would have made the month. I mean, this would have been. Who knows? But it's fine. I'm learning. You know, I need to lock in my gains on that one. But yeah, that's really the overall trades which I took. Hopefully that all made sense to you. But overall, again, I just want to come back here next week and just say that I was able to focus on my setups and not randomness, okay? Because again, it's hard seeing like all these big percent gainers, and I have that because that's what I started out doing, you know, with like, I started with Tim Sykes, obviously. I think everyone starts with him. He's a great guy. I think he's a great foundation. It's all that, you know? But I don't know. I learned from many people, you know, and the setup which I'm trying to learn right now, I learned from online from a certain individual, Christian Kalamagi. I don't know who he is, and it makes sense to me. It just does. Because that's really what it is. It's all about patterns, and I don't know, like for instance, like this one here, CRDF, beautiful earnings, growth, and again, as I always say, you want a reason for a stock to go up, you know, as Christian always says, you want a reason, you want fuel. In most of these small cap plays, yeah, they're good, they can triple your account in a day, or you know, but it's just, I'm looking for a setup I can do over and over again and have consistent growth and grow my account, and not just do scalping for these plays here and hope it goes up. Okay, you don't know if it's gonna work. It may work, but with the growth stocks, with theme stocks, you know for a reason they're going up. like VINC for instance, you know, same type of pattern. Same type of pattern. You know, big move, sideways, high day break. Again, big move, sideways, high day break. That is really what I'm trying to engrave in my head. And you do that by studying past movers and studying charts. That's what it comes down to, okay? And I've been doing it for 2+ years, and I think it's just time for me to execute. And that's the plan moving forward. It's gonna be hard. Like, I'm gonna set a role for myself. For the small caps, you know, I'm still gonna watch them, but only if they set up towards the afternoon plays. That's really the only goal here. My goal is just to focus on these open range highs breaks. And for the small caps, again, I'm not in front of the screens Tuesday or Wednesday, so I'm not going to trade from my phone at all. Market open, I'm not going to do it. Usually I have alerts go off, but I will only, no, I'm not going to do it at all. I'm not going to trade it all from my phone. I'm just going to focus on my setups. These, if all these setups here, okay, the open ranges which I have on my scans, those are the ones I'm going to focus on. And if I see something, I'm going to take it, okay? And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Big deal. But this is the basic premise I'm trying to get to y'all, to me, to learn this pattern here, okay? CRDF, same type of move, okay? Earnings, positive growth. You have this sideways here, you know, sideways, a red day, nice reclaim of the moving average, and a run, you know. PRCH, earnings gapper, that kind of did fail. I am still on radar for down the road. They did report positive earnings, and the long-term chart is ideal, but again, nasty drop. But that one's still on watch for down the road. IAT, again, low ADR stock, but the pattern is there. Earnings, ideally open range highs on that one. HNST, same type of play. Kind of a, it's on a back watch list. To down the road, open range high breaks over that one. And of course, OSHA, I talked about a couple videos ago. Same move. These ranges are forming again. And again, if this gets over 630, it's going to be a potential play. But more sideways the better on that one. Root, again, positive earnings, growth stock, forming really nicely. Hopefully we have a nice pullback and towards these, I guess, well, it's surfing the moving averages quite nicely. But we'll see. Ideally, hopefully we have a couple more days sideways, pull back, you know, consolidate, then have another ramp higher. But it is up quite a bit, you know, from the earnings release date. Jumia is forming really nice, really nice. Again, look at this tightness. This is what you want here. Ideally, watch for the range break. Whenever it breaks these ranges here, it's going to be a nice potential setup. It's forming really nicely here. So sideways are better on that one. AXTI, same type of play. Earnings, forming really nicely over this 480 level. It's a potential play. More sideways are better. Surfing the moving averages really nicely on that one. Another one is HIMS, earnings as well, surfing really nicely, really nice, over 470. It's a potential watch. More sideways the better on that one. And real is another earnings growth stock, setting up really nice. Again, I always talk about this. Look at the sideways. So we'll see. It's forming nice. Again, all these are just on watch. Over 380 level. If it reclaims, it's undercut it right now. But let's see, it's basing on the 20 EMA very nicely. If it overtakes the 10 EMA, it's gonna be a potential setup. But it's forming really nice on that one. And that's really all. And of course, you have VTYX going quite nicely. It's a relentless stock. Beautiful. Again, stocks move in stairs. But yeah, hopefully that all made sense, okay? But yeah, that's just the main plan for next week. It's just to focus on that. And yeah, I'm up on the week, you know, which is good. This is great. But it's just, I'm trying to get the randomness out of what I'm doing. And I know I only have 3 trades a week because I'm under PDT, and 3 trades is enough. Doing less is more, you know? That's what I think. But yeah, hopefully that all made sense. But other than that, I will see y'all next week, or sometime maybe this upcoming week if I see any potential plays setting up or if I take any trades. But other than that, again, focus on you, focus on risk, and just focus on your setups. Don't do random stuff, because doing randomness leads to random outcomes. And again, in the long run, you just want to be here in the business, you know. But other than that, I'll see you next week.